friends. I am so glad you could join me today. We're going to begin with an opening prayer, so if you would follow along and just repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for being with us today. Help us to listen to and learn from your word. Amen. I have some coins with me today. Maybe you can ask your mom and dad if they have some coins and you can follow along with me and look at these coins. I'm trying to see if there's some faces on my coins. I have a nickel here, and when I look at this side, there's a head on it and it looks like a man. So look at your coins and see if you can see a face on them. I have some pennies, and there's a face on this one. And look at my pennies. I have one penny that's really shiny and one that's kind of old, so it's not very shiny anymore. But the old one, you might be able to see my face on the penny. You can kind of see a head. I have some dimes, I think, some very shiny dimes, so they're going to be hard to see. There's a man on that one. So I wonder if yours look like mine. I have some here, and I have a quarter, which is bigger. So when you look at these, you can see that they're all different sizes. So my pennies are kind of small, the dimes are smaller, and then I have a nickel, and a quarter. It's the biggest one that I have in my hand. So I have all these quarters and pennies and nickels and dimes, and they can all be used to buy something when you go to the store. I also have this box that has some special coins in. These coins are actually called euros. I'm going to dump them out. They are called euros because they're made in Europe, and so they look a little bit different than what my coins did. They have numbers on them. So here's one that says 20 on it. It has the number 20, but when you flip it over, there is a picture of something on there, and it's a person. I just don't know who it is. And you can kind of see that my coins that are from Europe are different sizes. Some are shiny, some are gold or brassy color, and some are silver. This one has the number 2 on it. But if you look at it closely, it's silver on the outside edge and it's gold on the middle. And then on the back, it has a picture of something. I can't quite tell if it's a tree maybe. And you can tell that these are all different and they all buy something when you're in Europe. So you can't really use them in the United States like you can the money that I showed you first. So I have my money from the United States that we can buy something. So let's pretend that you are going to go to the store. So let's pretend that we're going to go buy some sidewalk chalk, and we have $2 to spend. So let's pretend like we're going to the store. Maybe you're riding with your mom or your dad, and you find the sidewalk chalk in the store, and you take the box up to the clerk and you put it on the counter, and she scans it and she says it's $2.10. And you're like, what? And she goes, that extra 10 cents is for tax. And so luckily your mom or dad who drove you has the extra money and they can pay the tax for you. So you had to pay tax on the purchase that you made. So after you do your sidewalk chalk, you buy it, and then you can go home and you can draw pictures outside on the sidewalk or the driveway. So in our story today, the leaders are asking Jesus a question about paying tax. So let's read the story and see what happens next. Our story today comes from the book of Matthew, which is in the New Testament. It's chapter 22, verses 15 through 22. If you want to follow along in a Sparks Story Bible, it's on page 306. Paying taxes. Paying taxes. One day, a group of religious leaders came to see if they could trick Jesus. "We know that you believe God is the ruler of all," they said, rubbing their hands together. Sure, they would trick Jesus. "So tell us, is it right to pay taxes to the emperor or not?" Jesus answered their question with a question of his own. "Whose head do you see stamped on this coin?" Jesus asked as he pointed to a coin they had. "The emperor's," they said. "Then give to the emperor the things that are the emperor's," said Jesus. "But remember, everything God made is stamped with the image of God. So be sure to give to God the things that are God's." The leaders left amazed and a little disappointed. They hadn't tricked Jesus after all. So just like our coins, the coin in this story has a picture of a head on it, has a stamp on it, and it's a stamp of their emperor. So Jesus told them then they needed to give the emperor the things that are the emperor's. But to remember, everything God made is stamped with the image of God. So be sure to give to God the things that are God's. So we're going to look at our leaflet today. So you have some stamps along the top. You can take those off, and we're going to put the coin stamp, we're going to put that right here on your paper. And then when you have some time, you can do some coloring and you can draw things that you see around you that are in the image of God. It might be a tree, it could be your dog, it could be your mom and dad. So it could be anything that God has made. So if you flip your paper over, you will see the side that says ruler of all. So God is the ruler of all. I want you to look carefully at the picture and see if you can find and circle the things that God has made. And then after you find something, we're going to say a poem together. So it's going to be a repeat after me poem. So we'll find a few things on this picture, and then you can practice this with your moms and dads. So the first thing I see are the children in the picture. And I think children have been made by God. So let's circle each one of the kids. We're just going to draw a circle around the kids. And then let's say this prayer, this poem. So please repeat after me. God made everything, big and small. God made children. God's the ruler of all. So what else do you see on this picture? I see a tree. God made trees. So let's circle the tree and then repeat after me. God made everything, big and small. God made a tree. God's the ruler of all. Let's see, I see some more things on there that God made. I see a horse. Do you guys see the horse? Right back here, we can circle the horse. And then let's say our poem. God made everything, big and small. God made a horse. God's the ruler of all. And now, does anybody see the little tiny frog? I see a frog right there. So we're going to circle the frog and then say our poem. God made everything, big and small. God made a frog. God's the ruler of all. What else do you see? We see some grass. We could circle the grass and then say our poem. God made everything, big and small. God made the grass. God's the ruler of all. There's lots of things here. I'm going to show you a video and see if you can find some of these things in my video. God made everything, big and small. God made flowers. God's the ruler of all. God made everything, big and small. God made ducks. God's ruler of all. God made everything, big and small. God made a tree. God's ruler of all. God made everything, big and small. God made birds. God's ruler of all. There's lots of other things on this page too, so you can circle these things with your moms and dads. And also on this page, if you have some crayons, you can color this at the bottom. It says, I belong to God. And then if you have your moms and dads help you cut this off, and then you can make a bracelet and you can wear that and show your friends that you belong to God. So let's close with a prayer. Please repeat after me again. Dear God, thank you for our friends and helping us understand your word. Please be with them until we meet again. Amen.